Good day viewers, welcome to another edition of the Daily Strange Stories. I'm John Brown. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend and are feeling refreshed and ready for the week ahead. Our lead story for today: Senzo Mchunu's friend President Ramaphosa breathes fire as General Mkhwanazi gets back 121 dockets taken by Shadrack Sibiya. Commissioner Fannie Masemola warns Senzo Mchunu as AfriForum messes up with General Mkhwanazi's political killings task team investigations. President Cyril Ramaphosa, who is a close friend and ally of Senzo Mchunu, has shown strong anger over the recent moves by National Police Commissioner General Fannie Masemola concerning 121 criminal dockets that were taken away by suspended Deputy Commissioner Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya. These dockets, which focus on serious cases linked to political killings, are now being returned to the Political Killings Task Team under the leadership of KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. This development is unfolding at a time when Masemola has issued sharp warnings about potential interference in the task team's work, particularly pointing to actions by former Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, who is currently suspended. Adding to the complexity, the civil rights group AfriForum has been accused of disrupting the task team's investigations, creating obstacles that could undo years of hard work in addressing politically motivated crimes in KwaZulu-Natal. The situation has escalated quickly this year, with Ramaphosa expressing his frustration directly to Acting Police Minister Firoz Kachelia. Sources within the security cluster indicate that Ramaphosa was deeply upset, describing Masemola's decision as something that could weaken the upcoming commission of inquiry led by retired Judge Mbuyiseli Madlanga. This commission is set to examine serious claims of criminal activity, political meddling, and corruption within the criminal justice system, based on allegations raised by Mkhwanazi. Ramaphosa has emphasized the need for the police leadership to avoid any steps that might tamper with matters central to the inquiry, insisting that such actions appear unwise and could harm the process before it even begins. However, others accuse Ramaphosa of literally negotiating in bad faith, with people like JJ Thabane claiming that Ramaphosa allegedly set up the Commission of Inquiry as a way of eventually punishing and indirectly firing General Mkhwanazi.
Because remember, as he was doing that press conference, he was risking his job.
Yeah.
Right? Now, there was nothing stopping, by the way, these politicians from firing him. In fact, there is a rumor, I don't like peddling rumors, but there's a rumor that, there are people who are very close to the president who actually want to encourage him to fire Mkhwanazi. Some are hoping that through this commission, which I can tell you now, in my view, it's unnecessary.
Unnecessary?
Yeah, it's unnecessary.
Okay, we'll get into
because
that.
It's an excuse for inaction, if you think about it. Right?
Sure.
If you are running an organization, in this case, you are running an executive as the president, and in a sensitive area like state security and so on,
Yeah, police.
you don't have the luxury of 6 months of twiddling your thumbs.
So true. And you have full control over the police as the president as well.
Yeah, it's not like Mkhunu can take you to CCMA. What is CCSMA?
Yeah.
You can't.
CCMA.
CCMA. He's behaving that way.
Yeah.
Right. But in a sense, he's demonstrating an entrapment, or rather, he's demonstrating that he's trapped in the fact that he has a cloud hanging over him. These people have defended him.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you explain that you went to a conference of the ANC with 6,000 delegates and the matter never even came up, which was in the public arena for months?
Sure.
And a month before that conference, there was even a judicial committee or parliament, I don't remember what it was called, led by a retired judge saying he has got a case to answer. And 6,000 delegates didn't bother to raise the matter. They came there twice because remember it was, the conference didn't finish.
Yeah.
And then...
Sure, it got kicked to the next NEC.
Yeah, and in all of those iterations, nothing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So
true.
He still remembers that.
That strategy.
So he can't be fast to act, even if it's glaring in his face. Right? He could have just called Mkhwanazi and said, come here, tell me what the story is.
Yeah.
Mkhwanazi brings the evidence. he assesses it and says to Mkhunu, sorry, too much heat, step aside.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? That's the renewal that he promised us.
If this is anything to go by, then indeed, Ramaphosa would not be pleased to see the 121 case dockets that were originally under Mkhwanazi being returned back to him before the commission set up by Ramaphosa himself decides how to deal with the said dockets. Furthermore, General Mkhwanazi revealed that the dockets in question were taken from him by General Sibiya at the instigation of Minister Senzo Mchunu.
On the 26th of March 2025, this year, a total of 121 case dockets that were under investigation were taken away from the task team as directed by a Deputy National Commissioner Crime Detection, a Lieutenant General Sibiya, who was acting on the instruction of the Minister of Police to disband the team. These case dockets have since March been sitting at the head office ever since, without any investigation work done on them. 5 of these dockets had already instruction to arrest perpetrators, but nothing has been done because a Lieutenant General Sibiya, being instructed by the minister, or well, executing instruction of the minister, withdrew all these dockets and they are sitting in archive in his office in Pretoria. God knows why.
As Mkhunu is Ramaphosa's ally, and is also the one who asked Ramaphosa to place him on special leave, which Ramaphosa did, it is unlikely that Ramaphosa would want the dockets returned to Mkhwanazi, as that will likely, directly or indirectly, affect Senzo Mchunu, who ordered the disbandment of the political killings task team, as well as the withdrawal of the 121 dockets from Mkhwanazi. Masemola's move to return the dockets comes amid ongoing debates about the task team's future. The dockets had been removed from the task team earlier this year by Sibiya, who claimed he was following instructions as part of a plan to wind down the unit. However, Masemola has stated that he was not fully aware of the full extent of Sibiya's actions and has now directed that the cases be handed back to Mkhwanazi's team in KwaZulu-Natal. This reversal is seen as a way to ensure that investigations continue without further delays, especially since the dockets involve high-profile matters that have remained stagnant in Sibiya's office.
Commissioner, the stability within the South African Police Service. Should South Africans be worried? Talks of corruption, political interference. Do you have anything to say with regards to that?
Look, where there is corruption, we do deal with it. We do investigate, deal with it accordingly. And yes, unfortunately, there is. You know about the commission that is coming, you know about what's happening. So those are the matters that, as the South African Police Service, we are there to cooperate with all the structures that have been put in place, and the men and women in blue, they are doing their work. They are fighting hard, and it's not when there is one police member that is being arrested for corruption doesn't mean the rest are corrupt. Majority are hardworking men and women in blue, and those that cross the line, we do deal with them accordingly.
Mkhwanazi, who has been vocal about the need to protect the task team's efforts, is now positioned to oversee the resumption of work on these 121 cases, which include links to murders of politicians, municipal officials, and other figures targeted in politically driven attacks. At the heart of Masemola's warnings is the role of Senzo Mchunu, the suspended minister who had ordered the disbandment of the task team at the end of 2024. Masemola has highlighted concerns that Mchunu's decisions may have been influenced by connections to individuals under investigation, potentially putting the entire probe at risk.
The evidence has been found in the cell phone of Mr. Vusimus, also known as Cat Nhlanhla, which shows the communication between Mr. Brown Mokgotsi and the Minister of Police, Mr. Senzo Mchunu. As I said, this was the beginning of the closure of the political task team. Further analysis of the chats indicates that Vusimuzi Cat Nhlanhla is financially supporting the Minister of Police and Mr. Brown Mokgotsi's political endeavors. This is supported by the evidence of conversation and the proof of payments of guests for January 8 traveling cost and the Ghana dinner in Cape Town, which was done in 2025. The proof of payment, we have it. As I said, we're going to share with you. where Mr. Nhlanhla is sending this proof of payment to Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi. On the 2nd of January 2025, at about 10:05 in the morning, Vusimuzi Ket Nhlanhla receives a copy of the letter of the disbandment of the political killing stars team from Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi, who is an associate with the Minister of Police.
In a detailed report prepared from Mchunu earlier in 2025, Masemola outlined how external pressures, including those from AfriForum, are threatening to derail progress. The report describes AfriForum's involvement as an overreach, where the group has made demands for information on specific cases without proper legal grounds. For instance, AfriForum has claimed to represent the widow of a murdered victim in the Umgeni municipality in a private investigation capacity, but the police have refused to share details, arguing that such sharing could lead to leaks and compromise prosecutions. Masemola's report goes further, accusing AfriForum of spreading false claims against the investigative team led by Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo. These claims include insults and negative remarks that have damaged potential cooperation. The police maintain that AfriForum's true role is limited to observing court proceedings, not participating in active investigations, and their insistence on accessing sensitive data is viewed as an attempt to hinder justice. This interference is particularly troubling because the task team has made significant strides since its formation in 2018, following recommendations from the Moerane Commission to address the wave of political killings in KwaZulu-Natal. The task team's achievements stand out as a model for handling complex cases. Over the years, it has examined 332 cases involving political motives, with victims including 57 councillors, 57 political party members, 30 office bearers, and 28 municipal officials. Parties like the ANC, IFP, and NFP have suffered the most losses, while groups such as the EFF and DA have seen fewer incidents. Investigators have arrested 388 suspects, including 34 police officers suspected of involvement or blocking progress. Convictions have reached 70 individuals, with 20 receiving life sentences and others totaling 1,562 years in prison. Additionally, 156 firearms have been seized, 54 of which are directly connected to these crimes, and evidence has revealed misuse of public funds in areas like Nongoma to support contract killings. One notable breakthrough involves cases at the University of Fort Hare, where the task team has uncovered key leads. These efforts have even been highlighted by the National Prosecuting Authority as prime examples for the Financial Action Task Force, demonstrating South Africa's ability to tackle money laundering, terrorism financing, and related issues. This recognition is crucial for the country's push to leave the FATF grey list, which monitors nations needing stronger controls. Masemola's report stresses that AfriForum's actions risk undoing this progress, especially with 128 dockets still under investigation and 115 cases awaiting court decisions. New investigators unfamiliar with the evidence could face challenges, and witnesses might lose trust, refusing to cooperate. Despite these obstacles, the task team continues to operate with a multidisciplinary approach, combining analysis and prosecutor guidance, which Masemola recommends as a standard for future probes into organized crime and contract killings. Even as the national team winds down, its impact is evident in the reduced number of political killings in KwaZulu-Natal, fulfilling the original goals set by presidential directives. The return of the 121 dockets to Mkhwanazi's control marks a pivotal moment. These files were withdrawn in March 2025 by Sibiya, who argued it was part of an agreed closeout plan. However, Masemola has contested this, stating that he advocated for a phased approach rather than an abrupt halt. The dockets, which include complex murder cases tied to politicians and tax-related disputes, had been left uninvestigated in Sibiya's office, raising questions about delays. Masemola announced at the 27th Interpol African Regional Conference in Cape Town that the task team would receive additional investigators to handle these and other unresolved matters in KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng. He noted the intricate nature of these cases, explaining why quick arrests are not always possible.
Them, and so you really won't expect arrest soon in those dockets. They are quite complex. They vary from murder, attempted murder, intimidation. So, but in their nature, they are complex during the investigation. So I'm not expecting an arrest soon on those dockets. You remember the team was in the process of being closed down, wind down. There was that dispute. So currently, the team is going on with the investigation of cases in KwaZulu-Natal, and of course also still assisting in Gauteng. We detected there is a shortage of investigators, so we will be beefing the team with extra investigators. In any way, we're going to open a team, a leg of political killing task team in Gauteng in the next 4 weeks or so. We have a number of unresolved cases in Gauteng that are murder of politicians and also tax-related that are quite complex. So we will be having such a team in Gauteng. And of course, we have a similar team, but not political killing task team, a team investigating tax-related matters in Eastern Cape, which that part of the team is also going to assist the Western Cape in the investigation of tax-related matters.
This decision has sparked tensions with Acting Minister Kachelia, who was appointed in July 2025 following Mchunu's suspension. Kachelia has publicly expressed concern that Masemola proceeded without consulting him or providing a requested detailed report on the task team. He argues that any revival should wait for the Madlanga Commission to investigate Mkhwanazi's allegations of interference. Kachelia has voiced strong dissatisfaction in a recent statement, pointing out that Masemola moved forward with reviving the team's work without any prior discussion or updates. The commissioner announced plans to return 121 case files to the task team, allowing investigations to resume soon. However, the now suspended police minister Senzo Mchunu had ordered its disbandment earlier, shifting its responsibilities elsewhere. At the heart of Kachelia's concerns is the timing of this revival. He believes such steps should hold off until the Constitutional Court's Justice Mbuyiseli Madlanga Judicial Commission of Inquiry completes its examination of claims about political interference. This commission, appointed by President Cyril Ramaphosa, is set to start its proceedings on Monday after some delays caused by logistical issues. Kachelia has demanded an immediate report from Masemola on the matter, noting that no such document has been provided yet, leaving key details shrouded in uncertainty. The 121 dockets involve serious offences, which had been pulled from the team and stored under the oversight of Deputy Commissioner for Crime Detection General Shadrack Sibiya, who is currently on suspension. These files reportedly sat idle in his office, with no progress on investigations, raising questions about delays in justice for affected families. The controversy traces back to July 2025, when KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi raised alarms about political meddling in the task team's operations. He also suggested links between Mchunu and certain drug figures targeted by the team in Gauteng, prompting Ramaphosa to suspend Mchunu and launch the judicial inquiry. Over the years, the task team has earned praise for its role in high-profile breakthroughs. It contributed to arrests in the killing of former ANC Youth League Secretary-General Sindiso Makakla, leading to the 2025 sentencing of 37-year-old Sibusiso Nhlanhla to an effective 25 years in prison by the Pietermaritzburg High Court on July 7. The team also advanced cases involving the murders of Amangamalala's head of Izinduna, Kalugunya Zuma, and Umgeni Municipality's DA Councillor Nhlanhla, resulting in charges against Inkosi Simphiwe Zuma of the Amaxamalala Tribal Authority for connections to both incidents. Yet, not everyone supports the revival. Independent monitor Mary De Haas has criticized Masemola's actions as overstepping legal bounds, arguing that as a ministerial creation, the team should stay disbanded per Mchunu's orders. She highlights the extra costs involved, such as additional pay for members and hotel stays during deployments, all funded by public money. De Haas maintains that Masemola lacks the authority to reinstate it unilaterally, urging that it remain shut down to avoid unnecessary expenses and potential conflicts. The commission, delayed due to procurement issues, was originally set to begin public hearings on September 1, 2025, but logistical problems in the Justice Department led to the suspension of key officials, including the Director General. This delay has heightened public worries about the criminal justice system's integrity, especially amid claims of collusion involving MPs, police, prosecutors, and even the judiciary with a Gauteng-based syndicate. Mkhwanazi's press conference brought these issues to light, detailing how the task team's disbandment stemmed from a request linked to the murder of Transnet employee Armand Swart in April 2024. Investigations into that case led to arrests, including businessman Getiso Molefe, and ballistic tests connected seized firearms and cell phones to other high-profile killings. Mkhwanazi pointed to text messages between Northwest businessman Brown Mkhotsi and Vusimuzi, Kat Nhlanhla, suggesting Mkhotsi arranged meetings with Mchunu and Sibiya, leading to the task team's dissolution. Nhlanhla, arrested in May 2025 for attempted murder and previously awarded a large police contract that was later cancelled, is linked to alleged guns for hire like Tleko Floyd Mabusela and Musagegana, who appear in multiple cases. Mchunu has denied close associations, describing Mkhotsi as merely a comrade from interactions since 2017, not an associate. He maintains that his disbandment order was informed and communicated to Masemola, countering claims of unilateral action. Sibiya, facing suspension, insists he followed Masemola's directives in withdrawing the Dockets and denies any improper links to Nhlanhla, calling such accusations baseless. Ongoing probes into these connections are sensitive, with Masemola withholding details.
My last question now, Shadrack Sibiya is challenging his, I think let's call it a stay home at this moment, and I think you can clarify that for us. What is it? Is it suspension? Is he on special leave? What is that? Just some clarity with regards to that.
I told him to stay at home, and there are processes that are currently on. So they are sub-judicate court now, so it won't assist us to debate it here or start the court processes now. It will be ventilated at court, and I'm sure the court will adjudicate on those matters.
Litigation has provided partial insights. The MK party challenged the commission's establishment and Mchunu's leave, while Sibiya contested his instruction to stay home. Court papers reveal complaints against the task team, including from University of KwaZulu-Natal's Professor Mary de Haas in October 2024, who alleged abusive practices and wasteful spending, urging its immediate end. Sibiya noted the team's silo operations, unfinished cases from 2016, and limited progress despite a dedicated budget for 612 cases over 7 years. Political reactions vary. The EFF has criticized Kachelia for delaying crime-fighting efforts, praising Masemola's move as a step to resume stalled probes. The DA sees the docket return as essential for justice, noting that parallel inquiries like the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee have not advanced, with no meetings or witness schedules set. The MK party expresses caution, worried about potential docket tampering during their time away but hopeful for arrests. Analysts like Zakhele Ndlovu from the University of KwaZulu-Natal observe clear friction between Kachelia and Masemola, evident in public criticisms and lack of coordination. The broader context reveals a criminal justice system under strain, with Ramaphosa's administration facing criticism for delays in addressing grave allegations. The Madlanga Commission's postponement, due to failures in project management, underscores issues of oversight and state capacity. Ramaphosa has called for cooperation to preserve the inquiry's integrity, expecting professional relations amid these challenges. As these events unfold, the task team's model of integrated investigations offers a path forward, but external pressures from groups like AfroForum and internal disputes threaten stability. AfroForum maintains its role in representing affected parties and seeking justice, denying obstruction and offering assistance. However, police reports paint a picture of deliberate sabotage, with false mandates and demands that could leak information and scare witnesses. The saga ties into larger efforts against organized crime, with the task team assisting in Gauteng cases that mirror KwaZulu-Natal's patterns. Masemola's warnings to Mchunu highlight risks of political ties influencing probes, as seen in alleged promises to disband the team after raids on Nhlanhla's company. Mkhwanazi's silence since his briefing, bound by commission rules, leaves many questions for the inquiry, now delayed into late 2025. This intricate web of accusations, reversals, and achievements keeps the public on edge, as the return of dockets to Mkhwanazi signals a renewed push for accountability. Ramaphosa's firm stance against undermining the commission underscores the high stakes, with national security at play. The story continues to evolve, revealing layers of intrigue in South Africa's fight against politically motivated crimes. What do you think should happen next to ensure that investigations like these are protected from interference? Should more oversight be placed on police leadership, or do you believe the commission alone will uncover the truth? Share your thoughts in the comments below to join the discussion. Thanks for watching this news bulletin. Please share your opinion in the comments section. We would be glad to read and respond to your comments. Let's meet again tomorrow in our next strange story. Wishing you a fruitful and productive week ahead.